Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I'm Joy, and here's Peanut. So as you can see from the title of the video, today we are making jerk chickpeas, okay? I don't know, some people don't like chickpeas. I don't know if you like chickpeas or if you've ever tried them, but this is a delicious recipe. Now, if you don't eat meat, Peanut, please stop. Don't do that. That's so scary. All right? Peas have a lot of protein in them. This right here is my marinade. And I had to do it early only because I should have recorded that. But I needed it to be marinated so that I could cook it. But what I have in here is a can of chickpeas or garbanzo beans. They're the same thing. And I'm going to show you what seasonings I used. Hold on. Alright, so what I use to season the garbanzo beans or chickpeas with is, I use this right here, this jerk seasoning. It is Jamaican jerk seasoning by Grace. I like to use Grace seasonings. Now, this is the mild one. However, if you use enough of this bad boy, it will be super spicy. So what I do to kind of cut the spice, and salty, what I do is I also use, and this you have to refrigerate it after you open it. But I also use this. This is also made by Grace. And this is the Caribbean Traditions jerk seasoning. So I sprinkle this on there as well. And this gives it more jerk flavor and cuts the salt and the spiciness, okay? Now, if you like spicy, it's fine. Add a little bit more of jerk seasoning. I just use 1 spoonful for 1 can of chickpeas. Now, I also use other seasonings. I use onion powder and garlic powder, and I put a little basil in there. And I forgot to put my cumin, but the ground cumin, I like to use that also. And then you just cut up an onion, chop up your onion, set it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes, excuse me, until 2 hours or the next day, whatever you want to do. I put it in the bowl. I'm sorry guys, I'm just opening it up here and taking the seasoning off the top. But I open it up, I put it the seasoning in here, and then just take the spoon and then just stir it up. So chop up your onion. You can see the onions in there. Can you see? And the chickpeas and the seasoning. So this is what it looks like after it's been marinated. So this marinated. So you wash your beans off and put them in, then season them. So now I like to use avocado oil. I'll use olive oil. I'll use coconut oil. I'll use grapeseed oil, whichever oil you like to use. I don't use corn oil, and I don't use vegetable oil, anything. I don't use none of that stuff. So you just put a little in the pan and let it get hot. Okay, I'm going to coat your pan with your oil. Alright. Now, these peas, you can eat them over rice. You can eat them with rice. You can eat them with quinoa. Potatoes. You can eat them with whatever. So put them all in the pan. Everything goes in the pan. And you scrape out as much of the seasoning as you can get out of there, okay? Because you want to make sure that you got all the seasoning in here. Alright? Let it dance around in the pan. I think we need more light in here. What you guys think? Is that any better? I think so, huh? All right. Okay. Now, if you know anything about me and my cooking, I love onion. So while I love onion, I put a lot of onion in everything that I cook. You see that? And you just let it cook down a little bit. Now, I'm going to add water in here. Now, let me tell you something. Those of you that are vegan, pescatarian, what have you, you don't have to use water. You can use chicken broth, you can use beef broth, you can use vegetable broth, whichever you prefer. I use water because there's a lot of things that I cannot use, and I just don't even, I don't play around with it because my allergies. You guys see my allergies. You guys see me. Sometimes I'm so miserable for no reason, but when I'm cooking for myself, I like to make sure I'm cooking the things that I can eat. And if I'm showing you something, that means I'm trying to show you that you can eat healthy and still taste good and enjoy your food. You can enjoy your food. All right, so now my bowl here still has seasoning in it. So I'm going to put the water in here. Okay. Now, I don't do measuring. Sorry, guys. I don't do measuring. I usually do things by eye, but when I want my chickpeas, I want them to cook down. So it's kind of like to stew them. So it's just a little bit of water over top. I'm going to show you. Don't worry. Just a little bit over the top. Okay? Now here, if you like a lot of seasoning, you can add more seasoning in here. Okay? And I do. So, what I add is not the wet jerk seasoning. I add the dry jerk seasoning. Oh, I did put some black pepper in here too. Oh, that's my vegetable seasoning. Uh-oh. So my Grace jerk seasoning, I'm going to put more of that in here. The last time I made this, I put too much of the wet seasoning in here, and it made it very spicy and very salty. So, I mean, when you eat it with rice or what have you, I don't usually put salt in my food. So for me, the rice would cut the salt, but it was still, pretty salty. So now you just let this cook down. We want our chickpeas to be nice and tender. We want there to be some thickening. So some of the beans, you can even mash it a little bit to make it a little bit thicker. So you can have some thickening in it. But I'm gonna let this cook down a little bit, and then I'll be back. Okay. All right, guys. I think this is a better angle. You can see some of my junk over there, but that's all right. As you can see, the beans are starting to soften up a little bit. See that? Uh-oh. That's my motion censored light. Now it's gonna start to thicken up. And once it starts to thicken up, it's gonna make like a like a gravy. And this is what makes it so good to eat over rice or mashed potatoes or quinoa. My light keeps going out. I apologize, guys. But this is my motion sensor light. Alright, so I'm gonna make some rice. Just because I like to eat it with rice. I like to eat it with quinoa too, but I'm always eating quinoa, so I'm in the mood for rice today. Alright, so this is going a little bit too high. Let's turn it down a little bit. There we go. Alright, so I'm not going to make too much rice. See why I love having a 2-burner stove? I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You see that? I got my chickpeas cooking down here and I'm making my rice, okay? You know what? I probably should have pulled this down right here so y'all can see how I put my stuff up front up there. But I put that up there to keep it out of the way. So when I'm back here, I got more space. That's just my bin that has some yarn and stuff in there, and I just threw my sweater on top of there. So, all right, y'all see this? This is what I wanted y'all to see. You see how it cooked down all the way like this? Now, it's okay to let this happen 1 time, all right? Don't let it happen again, because otherwise you're gonna have either 2 things. 1, it's gonna burn. If you keep it like this, it's gonna burn. 2, if you keep having to put water in here, you're not going to have any seasoning. It's going to be watered down. And 3, oh snap, it's not only going to be watered down. I didn't mean to do this, but I'm going to burn myself. Not only is it going to be watered down, but you're not going to have any gravy. So you want to be careful not to allow this to keep happening. Now I do it twice. I let it get down once like that, and then I add more water. Like I said, I let it like this on purpose because I wanted it to do that. Add more water. This way, like I said, I ensure my chickpeas are soft and tender, even though they're from the can. Soft and tender, and everything is nicely seasoned. And I also get a nice gravy. Okay? So that's that. So now we're going to let this cook down a little bit more. Let our water boil. The water boil. So we can add a little bit of butter. I have vegan butter, guys. Gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free. Okay? And this, of course, is going to be more than enough for me. So today I'm sharing with my sister. But normally I would have leftovers, which is all right with me because leftovers are great. Living in a van, all you do, pop it in the pan, put a little oil or a little bit of water, put it in the pan with the rice and just let it get hot, and boom, you got hot food. Leftovers. That's what I do. I mean, I don't know about anyone else, but so I got you guys up here in my van. I'm trying not to show y'all too much in the nitty gritty, but letting you see what we got going on here in the pan. All right, so I'm gonna let this cook down again. Oh, it looks like my water's starting to boil. Oh no, no it's not. Let my water get a good hard boil, and then we'll be back to mix the rice and then plate up the food. Okay? I'll be back. The food is almost done, guys, and guess who is starving? So look at that. Ooh, if only y'all could smell this. If only you could smell how beautiful. I'm stuffy and I can still smell it. All right, so this is about ready. Yeah, this is about ready. So now what you could do, oh geez, that's the wrong day. What you can do is a taste test here. And you can taste test here and see if it is to your liking, seasoned to perfection, or what you need a little more of, because you're still, it's cooked, it's done, but it's not on your plate yet, right? So taste it, see what you need. Still got a lot of spice to it. But it's perfect. So I'm going to turn that off. And this rice, okay, so here's the part where I turn this off too. And let it just simmer with all the steam. Make sure I got it right. Okay, it's gonna go off. I turn it off like this because I let all of the gas, this is how my mind works, okay? All the gas comes out of the holes and into here and burns out. And you see the fire goes down? And goes away. When it goes away, I turn it off. See? It's going away now. I turn it off. So in my mind, all of the gas is out of the holes. I don't know if it's true, but it just makes sense to me. So now the rice, I just let it sit here till the water evaporates, and then the rice is ready to eat. So I'm getting ready to plate my food. Now, I like to eat with a bowl because I'm using a spoon. But you don't have to put it in a bowl. Now, here's the thing with this. This is a meal. I can make me some broccoli or some spinach or whatever vegetable I'd like. And I usually do. And I actually will a little bit later. But this meal, I'm just showing you how to make the chickpeas, the jerk chickpeas. Because I will make some vegetable later on. This is just what I'm going to eat for right at this moment. Because I haven't had any lunch and it's already 3 o'clock. So I'm just going to eat a little bit of this. And I'll have some later on for dinner. I'll make my broccoli. I got some cauliflower or something in the freezer. I'll make that to go along with my dinner. But this is going to be a brunch. You see my light keep going out. So I brought this thing at Walmart. And I should have returned it. Because the remote is what changes it from motion center to just be on. But for whatever reason, the remote won't work. So that's just what it does. So look at this, guys. Look how fast this cooks. Look at this. Still got a little bit of moisture in there. But look at that. Look how fast that cooked. I'll let that just sit a little bit longer. Because I don't want to seem greedy. But so I'll be right back with the finished product. Right when I'm plating it up, I'll come back. When it's time to plate it up. All right, time to plate it up. Now here's one thing about living in a minivan. Your van smells like food. Well, at least mine does. I use a lot of seasonings, a lot of spicings. And my van tends to smell like food the majority of the time. When I'm done cooking and I'm done eating, it still smells like food. Now this jerk seasoning is pretty potent. So I'll air out the van in a little while. It's just kind of chilly out there right now. Put a little bit of the juice on here. Yeah, I hear Peanut having a drink. All right, so this is piping hot. Look at that, I love it. That's how I love to eat my food. Guys, please don't think I'm another one van dwellers that don't eat vegetables, because I do. It's just I'm starving right now and I have to make some vegetables. But I will. I'm going to show you that I made video. I made vegetables, okay? I'm going to show you, but I'm going to eat this right now. Perfect. Jerk chickpeas, guys. Like I said, this is a meal by itself, apart from vegetables. But if you are a meat eater and you want to add meat, this is a great side dish. But you do it as you wish. I'm just giving you guys some other alternatives to eat, how to eat chickpeas. Like I said, it's a lot of fiber, a lot of protein, and they're good for you. So guys, I hope you enjoy this, bon appetit. And always remember to have more faith than fear. Until my next video, blessings.